Welcome all, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new Reaction and Review UK, and welcome all to the new year. We begin the new year with a sob story. Yeah, if you're wondering why I look a bit tired and my voice is a bit shitty, a little explanation before we get started here. Every year, there are two traditions, or RandomDCE traditions, that I like, that really hold dear to my heart. Every summer, and every Christmas, December time, I kind of like to go batshit insane. And by that, it's kind of the role reversal of the Lumberjack song. Instead of, sleep all night and work all day, I work all night and sleep all day. So, yeah, I went a bit nuts in December. And seeing how it's January, new year, new possibilities, new horizons, great power, responsibility, all that jazz, I'm having a hard time trying to transition back into a normal way of thinking, and sleeping schedules, insomnia, basically what I'm getting at. Just to give you a heads up, it's 4:22 in the morning right now. So, yeah. Life sucks. So, how are we going to put this smile on my face? Now, many of you will recall, back in September 2012, I reviewed a movie called Blazing Saddles. In that movie, I said this is my favourite Mel Brooks movie, but many of you pointed out in the comment section that another movie he made was vastly superior, and were all surprised and shocked when I said I'd never seen said movie. Well, Santa must have liked me that year, because guess what I got for Christmas? Today, we're taking a look at said parody, SpaceBalls. As you can see here. Now, my only knowledge of SpaceBalls, number one, it's a Star Wars parody. That's primarily all I understand. And a joke that I heard Helsing and Ace Salieri say, which is the whole "I'm a Mog" and the "we ain't found shit." That's all I really know about it. Is this good, or as shitty as the Star Wars prequel movies? So, with that in mind, everybody, grab a set of drink to keep us going. It's time to kick back, get 2013 started the right way as we travel off with SpaceBalls. So, the grand master plan is to rob their neighbors of air. That's fucking hardcore. You know you're an evil villain when you're robbing people of air. They got Rick Moranis to play the Darth Vader spoof.
I'll always call you first. It'll never happen again.
Well, he's a lot better than Hayden Christensen either way. Then again, who isn't? From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Well, the girl likes her work. Okay, you know it's bad when the spoof is doing a better lightsaber battle than the entire Star Wars prequel trilogy.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
What the fuck? Okay, I did not see that coming.
If you refuse me, honey, you lose me. Then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own.
Okay, I have no words.
Check, please.
I got nothing. So, that was SpaceBalls. Let's just get right into it, shall we? Actually, no, I want to go for the negatives first. That way we can talk about all the positive stuff. So, in terms of the negatives, I did feel that some of the character names were kind of lazy. I mean, things like Pizza the Hutt, Yogurt, and Dark Helmet. It was kind of like saying, yeah, we know we're spoofing Star Wars. I just felt like some of the names could have been better. Dark Helmet, though, I will say it did kind of stand out a little bit from the name Darth Vader. Not by much, but you get what I'm saying. Some of the puns were really awful. The only real, pun gag that I kind of liked was jamming the radar, and a giant jar of jam smashes on the radar. I thought that was kind of clever, but apart from that, some of the puns were just really? Just saying. And there were some gags thrown into the movie that didn't really serve any purpose. there's a scene near the end of the movie where they kind of throw in a reference to Planet of the Apes. Which, I understand Planet of the Apes is sci-fi and all, but it didn't really serve any reasoning. And throwing in a reference to, like, Unicron in the 86 Transformers movie, I didn't quite get that. I didn't really see what that had to do with Star Wars, but what are you going to do? Now let's get into the positive. That's the complaints out of the way. So that's the things I didn't like. Now we're going to talk about all the good stuff. I do like how it is just a basic spoof of Star Wars. It has some of the themes, the characters, and the universe put in there. But the one thing I loved the most was it just lampoons George Lucas. Even before it kind of became apparent what George Lucas was all about. Because, I mean, many people will accuse George Lucas of basically being, a money whore and basically just throwing merchandise at everything. And SpaceBalls actually acknowledges that, saying, hey, look all this merchandise, we're making money. Even throwing in a joke about the sequel being called SpaceBalls 2, The Search for More Money. So, I like to think it's a spoof of Star Wars. The basic kind of themes are in there, An evil galactic force terrorizing the universe, a hero, his sidekick, a princess. All those things are in there, but it's told from a certain angle or a slant. And it's basically a nice fuck you towards George Lucas. Which is funny because when the Star Wars prequels came out, it all began to make sense. I think the one thing I love the most, because I know what I'm going to hear from that guy with the glasses fanboy saying, oh, you'll criticize To Boldly Flee, but you'll love this when they're the same thing. No, and I'm going to explain why I love Spaceballs so much. Because it made its own jokes. It wasn't just a bunch of people dressing up as Judge Dredd or RoboCop or any of these stupid things. It didn't just throw a lot of shit in there for no reason. It wasn't 90% pop culture references and memes and stupid bullshit. It was its own humor. Had its own visual gags, had its own style of humor. I mean, the joke about the radar screen, the coffee screen, stuff like that, and the jamming, it was funny shit, Which is sort of the thing I kind of expect from Mel Brooks kind of movies. And if this review's a little bit sloppy, again, I explained at the beginning, insomnia, so cut me some slack. Yeah, I mean, I love the visual humor. Like, I mean, it's sort of like, this is how a spoof parody movie should be done. Freeberg, Seltzer, Doug Walker, whatever, take note, this is how you do it, I mean, yeah, you're spoofing something that exists, but you're coming up with your own shit. And it's not just, hey, look, there's Lady Gaga for some reason. One of the visual gags that I really liked was the movie basically became self-aware. Like, fourth wall breaks, acknowledging you're a movie. It's been done to death these days, but this was kind of like when it was cool. Or it was done subtly. I mean, they came to the point where it's like, okay, so they're watching the movie I'm watching while they're watching the movie I'm watching. Wow, my head's starting to hurt. And I have to admit that Rick Moranis makes a better Darth Vader than Hayden Christensen does. And I know this is going to piss so many Star Wars fanboys off and all, but I actually think this is better than Star Wars. Don't get me wrong, I love Star Wars. Well, 3 of the movies, not all 6 of them. But yeah, I thought this was much better than Star Wars. I'm actually going to go watch this again later today. Not sure how much time I got left, so I'll just quickly touch through some of the actors in the movie. Bill Pullman, who I remember as the president from Independence Day, pretty good job in combining the two characters of Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. John Candy? Try that again. John Candy as Barf was... I get he was supposed to be Chewbacca, but you never really got that vibe. I mean, maybe just an once would have been good. Daphne Zwinga as the Princess Leia wannabe. I actually prefer her than the actual Princess Leia. Joan Rivers as Dot Matrix, the obvious C-3PO. Mel Brooks as the President Scrooge. I'm guessing he was supposed to be kind of like the Emperor from Star Wars, which is, I think, where the movie did kind of fall flat, because I was hoping to see like a Mel Brooks Emperor of Star, the Emperor. Yes, Lord Dark Helmet, you motherfucker. Don't ever have that thing lowered in my presence. Yes. Bring me fresh air. Yes. Yes. I love playing the Emperor, it's funny. But yeah, I mean, it didn't really have that. And all the other characters, I think the one I just didn't really find funny was Pizza the Hutt, but that's enough harping on the bad stuff. Can I recommend this to anybody? If you're one of those Star Wars purists that hates people making fun of Star Wars, you're probably going to hate this. If you love Mel Brooks, you're going to love this. And if you want to see how a spoof movie should be done, that doesn't constantly rely on pop culture references, memes, and stupid bullshit that a lot of fucking movies these days are pumping out. Yes, I've seen the Scary Movie 5 trailer and it sucks balls. But if you really want to see how spoof movies should be done, give SpaceBalls a look. I mean, this is kind of not Blazing Saddles off its perch of my favourite Mel Brooks movies. You know, you can find it on DVD from Amazon, Play.com, very reliable website. It's probably very cheap as chips these days. I think this is on Netflix. I haven't got Netflix yet. Wow, I'm really tired. I'm still laughing because of how good this was. Yeah, I've really got nothing to criticize here because it doesn't take itself seriously. It's a spoof movie, and it's kind of sad when, like I said, the spoof is actually better than the source material. Just a shame Freeberg and Seltzer couldn't do that for Vampire Sucks. No, I'm not reviewing that. But speaking of vampires, we'll get into that next time, won't we? Oh, yes. We'll get into that next time. Until then, everybody, I have been Random. Take care, and I'll see you all in the near future. Peace.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Oh, so that's where that line comes from.
Keep firing!
I've always heard that file, like a WAV file, on various sites I go to, and I never knew where that came from. Thank you, SpaceBalls, for finally clearing that up for me.